8 reasons why COVID-19 damage to the economy are going to be deep and lasting. 1. Business travel isn't returning anytime soon. People are becoming familiar with Zoom. And word can also get out that domestic flying is far worse than it wont to be, which can be a deterrent to those that could be so bold on want to urge on a plane. That's a fundamental blow to airlines, airport vendors, hotels, restaurants, and convention centers. Occupancy rate in April was 24.5%, which, if anything, seems high, supported my personal data points. The pricings I see say that hotel operators aren't expecting much, if any, improvement through the summer. They've cut service levels drastically as how to scale back the bleeding of the low occupancy rates. 2. White-collar workers won't be going back to offices within the old numbers. Elevators and conveyance, particularly commuter trains, are perceived as big risks. Moreover, many large corporations, having had to work out the way to make work from home manageable, have decided they will deal with it, or maybe love it in order that they decide to cut their office space when lease renewals come up. 3. On the residential side, both the CARES Act also as measures implemented locally provided for forbearance. But as Lee Shepard explained in tax notes, this is often imprecise legally. Landlords and lenders are expected to offer tenants and homeowners a payment holiday, but what happens then isn't in the least clear. Foreclosure is prohibited during that period. The CARES Act requires forbearance just for mortgages. But it also permits bank forbearance and changes for other loans, with indulgence from regulators. So there'll be a good amount of action on loans. It's by definition discretionary and not an exercise of the terms of the loan document. Indeed, it's a deliberate failure to exercise creditor default remedies. So we'll see evictions and foreclosures. I even have no idea what the extent are going to be, and banks may decide in some areas to not foreclose, cheaper to possess the resident, secure the house. 4. Colleges will have tons of trouble this fall. First, they're losing nearly all their full-freight paying Chinese students between concern over U.S. COVID-19 risks, administration hostility, and travel restrictions. That alone may be a big blow. On top of that, some are getting to reopen, but MIT's announcement yesterday that it'll not allow all students to return to campus probably represents a replacement normal. I hear from sources with contacts at other universities that administrators that they see no thanks to put kids in dorms without running unacceptably high COVID risks. 6. Cutting across all the categories have companies affected by COVID-19 damage: restaurants, shops in office districts, merchants in college towns, small manufacturers. Is that a lot of our small businesses? Small business owners need to guarantee loans personally unless they're ready to finance their operations by borrowing against land. Even SBA loans require a private guarantee. They won't have the cash to start out once again. And that they might not have the pain tolerance either. 7. State and native governments are already hemorrhaging jobs, and it'll worsen. And in some, perhaps many communities, the budget cuts are going to be so deep that they're going to degrade service levels. Less frequent garbage pickup and street repair isn't good for business either. 8. The EU isn't getting to do enough stimulus to offset its own COVID-19 damage, and Brexit is coming, a shock to the EU and UK when both are already on the ropes. Roughly 25% of S&P earnings come from Europe,